And we are live. Guys, how are you doing? Man. Game week 12 of the historic game week 11. And just going to the panel, guys. I don't know if you've noticed, but a certain person has called in sick today. Chap, sorry, guys, I cannot make it after he's had the worst game week out of the three of us, making some questionable, questionable decisions here. Uh, Yeah, man. G, thank you for being with us today. Yeah, you've had a very good game week. How are you feeling? How are you feeling?
How's it, Cat? Yeah, look, man. It feels good to get a green arrow. It's been a
Yeah,
while.
been a
But
while.
I see red arrows have got this thing of getting people to call in sick.
Hey,
I'm glad
dog.
I'm not
Hey,
one of those today.
no one wants to get the red arrow cold.
Nah. But I'm good. I'm good. Can't complain.
Good play. No, guys, look, today's show, what we're going to do is we're going to go through who are going to be the best defensive options because I think we've all got the same conundrum of not having really a great defense to play, considering all the big teams are sort of playing each other. And most of us pretty much got almost like the template defense, which is having an Arsenal, having an Aston Villa defense. Yeah, so we're going to take a look at that. And then we're also going to take a look at captaincy options as well, like who we think is going to be the best captaincy because if that side is pretty much open, you've got Salah and Haaland playing each other and they're a good defense as well. So yeah, we're going to take a look at that and then we'll also review our teams as to how we did as well as take a look at the league table, see where we're standing now, the big reveal. So yeah, so let's get straight into the show. We'll start off with the best defense. Yeah, man. Looking at it, the table right now at the top, sorted by clean sheet. Newcastle is at the top, followed by Arsenal, Crystal Palace, Man City, and then Liverpool. Spurs following after that with four clean sheets, along with Man United, who've done really well, actually, the most informed team as well. I'm not going to go too low below that, but Chelsea follow up with that, having three clean sheets there. But the first top three have five clean sheets, which is Arsenal and Newcastle and Crystal Palace. So yeah, G, what do you think? What's your conundrum in your defense right now? As to like, how many transfers do you have actually at the moment?
Yeah, I've got one transfer for game week 13. But I'm not really planning to use it. I think after that game week 12, the team is moving in the right trajectory.
Yeah,
Looking at the international break, with international break, you're always cringing and just hoping there are no injuries. So I think it would be better off just to hold it, and then if there are any injuries or players that have got some flags, then maybe game week 14 I can um, utilize two transfers. But back to your question of in terms of my defense, I think at the moment, obviously I've got one Arsenal, one Spurs, I've got Aston Villa as well. Um, Definitely by far, I think, in as much as if you look at the table, Newcastle's on the top. Arsenal's conceded less goals than Newcastle, so I feel that in terms of their defense, it's a much better team to look into when you're looking
much
at the
better
defense.
time.
Yeah, yeah, and
Yeah,
even if you look at their fixtures, I mean, they've got Brentford, they've got Wolves, they've got Luton. Um, who you would actually look to go for in that team? You've forever shoved it down our throats, but definitely Saliba is definitely a number one, and number two, without a doubt, would be a Gabriel. Um, Obviously, most FPL managers probably settle with Gabriel because he's slightly cheaper, but in that aspect, definitely would be looking at those two assets from Arsenal. And then obviously it goes without saying again, then for me, yes, and as much as we're looking at teams that have conceded like have more clean sheets. I'm really looking at how many goals these teams are conceding. So for me, I'd actually look at your City defense. City defense. What's nice with them as well is those defenders are very useful in the air. You know, so like whenever there are set pieces, you definitely know that City gets most of their defenders purely for their height, their athleticism. You know, you look at Akanji who scored a goal this past weekend as well. So it's definitely a team to consider. Then you can go to your Newcastle, but it's quite the conundrums. But and looking at City coming into Gameweek 13, they've got a Liverpool. I don't see City keeping a clean sheet against
Nah,
Liverpool. Nah,
nah,
I don't see it.
nah.
So maybe you can hold off and then move on to your Newcastle. Obviously, it's just that Newcastle, their defense, they've had a few injuries here and there. So
That's the thing, bro. Like, it's also like, a lot of people right now are in two situations. They still have Botman and they
yeah,
wait for that news. Now, the latest thing I've heard is that he's on the grass kicking a ball. This is after Eddie Howe had spoken to the press conference before the game saying he needed to go to the Netherlands to see a specialist. So
mm,
clearly, and it was going to be a matter of whether or not the specialist said he needs surgery or he doesn't need surgery. So if he's kicking a ball after that, that means the specialist has said he doesn't need surgery. So it could be a matter of now literally having to wait after the international break and wait and hear to see, he doesn't need surgery. Cool, fine. He's kicking. He's on the cross. Can we expect him back for this game week or maybe even the next? Because
next year,
they fixtures, to be honest, for me, after even the Chelsea game, like, yeah, Chelsea scored 4 goals against City. You know what I mean? But I don't believe them, eh? Like, I don't believe they'll come out here scoring at Newcastle, guns blazing. I feel like that game was one of those games Chelsea do where they like perform well against the big boys, and then they go back to their stuff where they lose against Nottingham Forest at home. You know, and I don't think Newcastle are formidable at home. They are like, yes, fine, they've got injuries, but I'm pretty sure Trippier, the South, Shaw, and whether it's Lewis, it's going to be Lewis Hall. No, it's not going to be Lewis Hall. It's going to be Livramento. I'm pretty sure they're going to be able to hold.
Liverpool, yeah.
I'm pretty sure they're going to be able to hold it down with Nick Pope at the back, Bruno Guimaraes in front of those guys. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure they'll be able to hold it down. I don't see Jackson coming out here scoring like he's a man. Palmer, yeah, Palmer, he's a risk or whatever. But I don't know. I don't see Chelsea scoring there, and that might just be me.
No, but look, Kes, I think if I can just come in there, in Chelsea's defense, see that fixture, and Chelsea's playing at home. Okay, none of us expected Chelsea to hold their own against City. None of
No,
us did. Okay, fine. I believe that City they made a few mistakes. So there's some goals that they just gifted Chelsea, but they created their own luck and the confidence in which they're playing. I mean, for me in that game, two players stood out. It was a brilliant performance by Raheem Sterling, okay, and Cole Palmer. Those guys, they really like they were a menace in that midfield. They were a menace for the City defense, and we can't take anything away from them because City's got the second best defense in the league, and they scored 4 goals. So I really don't think Newcastle is going to get a clean sheet against Chelsea. They might win the game, but in terms of a clean sheet, it's very, very difficult. And then you look at Newcastle. You look at how they played midweek. I think it was in the Champions League.
hey,
Yeah,
hey,
well,
hey, hey,
for the
hey.
fact that you're crying, you know very well it was a very, very tough game. They lost 2-0, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so now fine. Let's not forget about the international break. There will be a break. They'll be able to regroup. just looking at the two teams and the previous games they've played, I don't back Newcastle getting a clean sheet.
You know why?
Getting a clean sheet.
You know, the
that's
only
tough.
reason why. The only reason why I back them is because they are home in the Premier League. You know, and they've had clean sheets in the Premier League throughout. You understand? Yes, controversial one against Arsenal, but either way, Arsenal wasn't going to score. You know, Crystal Palace, yes, fine, Bournemouth, and then there's also Brentford when they were flying in the beginning.
Yeah.
You understand? So that's the reason why I back them. The other team that we should be looking at, to be all honest, is Crystal Palace at number 3, because their defense has honestly been informed, and now that they're getting their attacking players back, the more attacks you have, the better you have, the less chances other teams have coming in your direction to score. And Johnston has been has been putting a dent in other people's ranks, to be honest. But I think Anderson is a good shout out. His bonus points as well is also very good, so he could be getting bonus points. They're playing Luton. Now they play Luton and West Ham and then Bournemouth. So in terms of even looking at him as a good option for the next 3 game weeks, I think he's also another good option. And in all honesty, for me, looking at this table and Gameweek 13, that's all I'm looking at, bro. Is like Anderson and from Newcastle. To be safe, the only option I look at is Shaw. As odd and as not attacking, involvement as he's not. But bro, I've got Botman right now.
Yeah.
I can't do what other people did, which was bring in Livramento, and then he doesn't play. You know what I mean? And then he's only playing by default this week because Hall can't play against who's this guy? Chelsea, because he's on loan.
Yeah.
And then the next game week, they're playing Man United. The next thing you know, Liverpool's not playing. That's a wasted transfer, dog. If I'm going to bring in a Newcastle asset, I can't bring in the Lascelles as well, because Otman's here around the corner, ready to come. And I want to bring somebody in. I feel like my defense is not up to thing, because I've got a Kanji who's been performing, scored 2 goals for me. Honestly, he's been the savior for my team in the past 2 game weeks. And then yes, Saliba, and then I've got Cash, and then Tsimikas. But they're playing, Liverpool is playing thingy, so I need at least one defensive transfer there. And I feel like if I'm gonna take out a Newcastle from Newcastle, it has to be Shaw, because I know he will play the game. He will play the games. Plus, his bonus points is also looking good. His bonus point system is looking good. Yeah, man. To be honest, I feel like anybody else would be wasting our time. We'd honestly be wasting. We've missed the Harry Maguire train.
No, but I definitely agree with you. When you look at Crystal Palace, you mentioned that earlier. I think like Crystal Palace, like the way the team is slowly coming to form, it's really great. And if you look at the teams that we've just recently mentioned, your Arsenal, your City, your Newcastle, they've got much better fixtures. Like you mentioned, they've got Luton, they've got West Ham, and they've got Bournemouth. And you mentioned Anderson. Okay, fine. A lot of guys are going for Anderson, but another guy that I think is also someone to look for, and he's at 4 million, is your Mitchell. What Tyreek?
Yeah, 4.6.
He's at a 4.7 at the moment.
Hey, you gotta get him on.
Yeah, man, he got 15 points against Burnley, fine against Everton in Gameweek 12. He blanked. But he's definitely a decent option when you look at your defenders. So
I think
it's definitely a team that I think I agree with, and a lot of managers can really make some gains, through that. It's not as risky as the other high profile games, but definitely that's a team to look for as well.
Yeah, I've got a question. So Spurs are in an injury and suspension conundrum. The
Oh
Suma
yeah, don't get me started with Spurs.
the Suma's not going to be playing this next game. So their spine of the team is honestly dismantled, and that being Madison is going to be out. The Suma is not going to be playing this next game, and as well as the two centre backs are also not there. And honestly, when that spine is dismantled, that means the control of the game can be in Aston Villa's side, who they're gonna be playing. So I honestly, if you ask me, and I'm asking you now, do you not think that Aston Villa can get away with a clean sheet away at Spurs? Paying in mind, and that's the important thing. This is the important thing. They don't have the spine of the team, which is importantly going forward the Suma, because he's the pivot guy. Kapesa is the one who usually pushes up. The Suma is the one who collects the ball from the defense. He's the one that turns, that's press resistant. He's not there. So who's the defense giving the ball to in the middle? And even if they do get that ball to the Suma, or even Kapesa, who are they turning around and giving it to? To spray those passes wide to Brendan Johnson or Kulusevski or even down the middle to Son. So attacking wise, I don't think Tottenham's got that threat that they really need. Yes, Son is there, but how's he gonna get the ball? How's he really gonna get the ball? Udogi is back, So unless they're starting to build down the sides with Pedro Porro and Thingy, and most teams don't, and even these guys, they don't necessarily bring attack from down the side. Not attack down the side, build up from the side. They don't build that. No one hardly is build up from the side, to be honest. They go from goal kick, they try go yes side to the left back or whatever, and then they pull the ball center, and then they build up to the center, and then when they get over the halfway line, then they start going to the side or they hit it straight into the middle. But people build up to the center, bro.
No, definitely. You see that Aston Villa Spurs game, it's actually going to be very interesting because I mean both teams play a very high line.
I'm asking you, a lot of people have cash and they're looking to get rid of it. And I'm thinking to myself, it might be one of those situations where people get rid of cash and then one, he assists, or two, and he gets a clean sheet.
So I think that question would be who you getting cash out for,
Or
but
one of those guys,
yeah,
earlier.
I'd much rather keep cash because I really feel that, like as you mentioned, Spurs is brittle. They're frail. They've got injuries in defense. That midfield is not there. Your Madison is not there. So Watson, I really feel that this is a good game for him, purely for the fact that Watkins, yeah, Aston Villa plays that quick ball, get it out the wings, try to put it just behind the centre backs. And since Spurs is going to be playing a high line, I don't think they'll have that command in midfield. You know, I see Son dropping a lot deeper to do a lot more defending. I don't see him getting that supply of ball. But again, this is Pochettino. This guy, we didn't expect him to do what he's doing now. But if you look at how the team is slowly shaping with the certain individuals that are not there, you can see the cracks. And I mean, Aston Villa is at a full strength team, and you know how dangerous Unai Emery is. So I'd hold on to Aston Villa, specifically Aston Villa players or assets, specifically for Gameweek 13, because I mean, anything can happen, and I definitely feel that Aston Villa will have an upper hand over Spurs, definitely.
Yeah, true, definitely. Same, man. I agree. So, man, to round this part up, honestly, guys, I agree with Koba. I think if you're gonna make a move, it seems like Crystal Palace because 4 game is 13, and the mere fact that they've got Luton, and then they've got West Ham, and then Bournemouth as well. I think they're also a good long pick. I think you can get away with a Newcastle, but in my opinion, you have to go for someone like a Shaw if you want to be safe because you don't want to get yourself and then end up Hartman comes back. So, and then the best other option is our Arsenal defense, um, which is a Gabriel for a cheap option. So, yeah, man, there you go. Yeah, that's our best defensive options, honestly, for game week 13. Game week 13 captaincy options. This is honestly another one which is like wide open. Um, yeah, man. The conundrum here really honestly is Haaland and Salah are playing each other. And as you can see, this is a table showing the best attacking team. And it's really, it's ranked by goal XG, goal involvement, basically. So which team has got the best goal involvement, with Liverpool at the top, followed by Man City, Chelsea, and then Aston Villa. I don't understand how Chelsea's third, but anyway. Newcastle, and then you got your Brentford and Arsenal. I'm not going to go down too far. But seeing as people are not really looking to captain Salah and Haaland because they're playing each other and they both got good defenses, who is next? I don't know, Gia. Let me just, having introduced this, let me for me, right? I got a few. One is Bowen because he's playing Burnley away, and Burnley have a bad defensive record at home. They're almost averaging 3 goals conceded at home, and Bowen has been scoring away almost every away game he's scoring. So it's as if it's like a godsend. Oh, Captain Bowen, right? But and the thing is now, you know how you if it's gonna be a differential week, you want to have a differential. And everybody's already got Bowen now because of this past week. Everybody pretty much bought in Bowen. So it's like, okay, cool, fine. If not Bowen, then who? Now, if I'm looking for a differential, to be honest, I think Eze, bro. Eze is a good shot.
Eze.
Eze, bro. He's playing Luton, and he's back, and Olisa is back. Edward is scoring as well, and the defense is good. The issue there is it's Luton at home, right? Now, I haven't
No,
seen.
Cat, look. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to stop you right there, bro.
Really, you don't
see,
think there's
when
a
it
shot?
comes to captaincy, guys,
Yeah,
look at the numbers. You got to look at someone who's been scoring, okay? Who's been
yeah,
scoring. We can't hope he's gonna score. For me personally, yes, you wanna take your luck. You wanna be that manager who will just have that faith and he'll probably score a hat trick and then everybody else blanks. But it's gonna be very, very difficult to go for someone who hasn't scored, and then you've got in your team you've got a Haaland, you've got in your team you've got a Salah, right? In your team you've got a Jared Bowen. Okay, because for me those are the top 3 captaincies. If you've got all 3 of those guys, and then you look past those 3 and you go for an Eze, like you're saying, this guy, how many goals has he scored? How many assists does he have? As opposed to, okay, if you look at Haaland, he's on top of the list. He's on 13 goals. Sharp. You look at your Salah, he's on 10 goals. You look at your Jared Bowen, he's on 8 goals. I mean, these are people who are scoring goals. Eze is not even on that list, my guy. So please, you can carry on explaining, but I'm just saying that's tough.
Okay. We'll skip
That's
Eze
tough.
because I agree with you, and that's the conundrum with the option for Eze. But then, having said that, then the next option now becomes a an Aston Villa option, being either a Watkins or a Diaby if you really want to be differential.
I'd go personally. If you're not gonna go Haaland against Liverpool, and you're not going to go Salah against City. Jared Bowen. Okay, if you don't have Bowen, fine, sharp. Let's say you've got a Watkins, then you put a Watkins. It's just that for me, Bowen has got the easiest fixture on paper. He's got the easiest fixture on paper, and it's Burnley away. Burnley away is going to definitely concede, and Bowen, he finds a way to score. I was saying this to chaps a few game weeks before we all decided to get him into our team. He always finds a way to score. I mean,
Dude,
this guy, like,
you know that header that he scored? I
was about to explain that to you now. If you look at the last weekend, he was the smallest guy in that box.
Bro,
where did he come from? I don't even know. But he was there, bro. He was there. So, you know what I mean? Like,
I was like, I'll take it.
My guy. So if you're gonna put an armband, you need someone like that, you know. For me, this is not the game week to be trying fancy things. I've learned the hard way. I've learned the hard way of giving freaking Hoyland the armband. I've learned that you can't take a punt on someone who doesn't score goals. You can't.
But you know what? I'll be honest. Yeah, guys, look, I don't know what to say. I guess I have a fear. I have a fear for Haaland, bro. I have a fear for Haaland, and you know, my fear, honestly, is Haaland just performed away. Haaland's gonna come back and he's gonna perform at home. You know, I feel like nobody expected goals at what's this place at Chelsea. I didn't expect like even for Man City. I thought it would be like okay, 3-1 or something, you know, and Haaland will like score a goal. Hey, you know, like he'll score a goal and maybe even assist. Like score 2 goals, almost assist. Like he almost got an assist from Adobe. And you know, the other home game against Bournemouth, he died. And then you look at like how he's performed against Man United at home, and I feel like he's gonna do the same thing against Chelsea. You know, not Chelsea against Liverpool at home.
Liverpool, yeah.
Because he knows, and Man City knows this is Liverpool. You know, I gotta make sure. You know, so I feel like my safe option is gonna be Haaland, and I think there's a lot of people in the community not saying it because they want to just focus on like, the time to the opportunity to captain somebody else. But hey, I'm scared. Hey, you know what? The safe option is Haaland. I don't think Salah will do anything. I think, yeah, fine, he'll probably get a penalty, but like that's just a goal. You know, he'll probably even just get 1 goal. I don't think he'll come like for like 2 goals or even 2 goals.
You know what's scary with Haaland? I'll be very honest. I was very, very close on selling him. And this was in game week 8 and 9.
What?
I think remember, like, no, like in terms of like, you know, when you look at a guy,
yeah, I remember when they were losing. I remember.
I've got 14 million rand in this guy.
In this guy. And you are performing.
Like, what the fuck, bruh? Sorry to swear, but like I was like, you know, and then I think it was game week 10. Yeah. Game week 10, he had an assist. Game week 11, that was against United. Hey.
Yeah, game week 10 was United.
Yeah, game week 10 was United. And then I was like, ish, this guy. It's as if he's showing me with tape, bro. I see you.
Anytime.
I see you. And like, you know, and then game week 11, it was a quiet one. Game week 12, boom, boo. And for me, like, I feel that Haaland is showing us that, look, guys, I'm still Haaland. You know, I was looking at the numbers because we passed for the first quarter of games. I'm not playing.
Yeah, now we've got something to work with. Now we're looking at numbers.
Okay, numbers don't lie. Okay, this guy's top goal scorer, 13 goals. Okay, he's fine. He's got less FPL points than Salah. He's got 96. Salah's got 101. Purely for the fact that Salah's a midfielder, so he gets points for clean sheets. He gets assists, even if he doesn't score. Okay,
Yeah.
let's put that aside. But in terms of his goal XG per minute, he's played way less than all these guys. He's played 97.5
Mm.
and he's got 13 goals. Then the closest guy to him who's got more goals in minutes is Darwin Nunes, but he's only got 4 goals. He's only got 4 goals. Okay. And then Salah comes third. He's played 130 minutes, 0.1. So he can blank today, sharp.
Yeah.
But tomorrow, best believe.
I'm a return.
And that's hard to ignore.
FPL
family, that's hard to ignore.
I think for me, this brings me to what our surprise was when we saw that Cap sold him. I knew, and the reason why I also didn't even think about selling Haaland was because of a game week like this. I know there are so many people in the community who did what Chap did before him, and funny and sadly enough, we're still going to do it even after him. You can't sell Haaland. Yes, he's got money in him, but he's still, you want the highest scoring person. He's going to be guaranteed top 2 highest points in FPL. Why are you giving those points away? Find a way around it, bro. Find a way around him. This, to me, there's no replacing him. I don't care if I take those points and I put in a Son and a what. I don't think they'll return like him, dog. There's no 2 players.
You'd rather have him on your bench, than not have him in your team. Period.
You see, I see this thing, and I know what it is. People will go Haaland out and they'll do Alvarez and Watkins, or they'll do Alvarez and somebody else. Alvarez is not even, I don't feel like he's going to score. He'll score some, like probably half, but not enough. And then the other option, he's not going to do enough, bro. Wherever you put that money, is not going to do enough to cover those Haaland points, bro. Those goals.
No, 100%.
And especially people are captaining him as well, and you don't have them. And that's the edge that people who have Haaland, whether they captain or don't captain him, have over him. And that's how I honestly overtook Chabe this week. It's just that Haaland mistake. That's it. It's a Haaland mistake.
100%. 100%. I also noted that the guy who's number 1 overall in the world, right? He hasn't used any of his chips. But there are 3 players that he's had from day 1 or 5. Okay. This guy's going to be a shock. He's had Onana from day 1, right? He's had Onana in goal from day 1 with the blanks and everything. Okay, sharp. And then he's had Haaland, he's had Salah, he's had Son. In the midst of everything. And to me, the 2 players that stand out for me is Haaland and Son. I mean, like with those 2, there's so many points that you rake up, and that's all where his captaincy's been. It's either been Haaland, which is he's the bulk of the game weeks, and then Salah. And that just goes to show when you look at the data, it's very, very difficult to ignore.
Yeah.
It's very, very difficult to even compete.
No, it is, because it's also like, fine, let's say Haaland doesn't do anything this week, which is expected, right? It's a 2 points, maybe even just 5 points for an assist, right? And then 2 points the next week, right? And say your Alvarez, which is the replacement people are using, gets 15 points in those 2 game weeks or 3 game weeks, and Haaland out of those 3 game weeks only gets, let's say, 8 points. On that 4th game week, Haaland alone will get 20 points.
100%.
And Alvarez will get like 4. So when you look at it, Haaland will have about like 30 points or something like that, and then Alvarez in total out of the 4 game weeks will only have like 15 points or something.
But I also feel that Alvarez ship has sailed, hey? I'd much rather look at like a young Darwin Nunes, fine. Like the biggest or the most difficult thing with picking a Darwin is that he doesn't get that certainty that he's going to start. He's very not fixture proof. You never know if he's going to start. He's going to be on the bench. But his numbers when he's on the field are great. And besides, like Gameweek 13, the City game, I mean, 14, 15, 16, he's got Fulham, he's got Sheffield, then he's got Crystal Palace. And going forward, Liverpool are something to lick your lips on. You look at his goal involvement as well. I mean, he's second after Haaland. So definitely, if you're feeling that Haaland is not your go-to guy, Alvarez, I think that guy ship is sailed. We need to really explore other players like a Nunez. Like for me personally, I'd much rather
I hear you. I hear you.
bring a Nunez in. Funny enough, it's actually something that I'm even contemplating for Game Week 14. Starting to move your City players out, because we also can't forget that blank Game Week 18 is coming. So you don't necessarily want to have too many City players that are hogging your team, and then Game Week 18 comes and you can't necessarily get them all out, or you can't bench them all, or have a decent players off the bench. So it's also something we definitely need to consider. That is he really worth having that time? But hey, that's just how I feel about it.
No, I get it. I just want to spin this back to our final thoughts on captaincy. So cool. By default, Haaland. I don't want to say Salah based on the stats that you pulled. I don't think he's the option. You guys shouldn't be thinking about him. But then on top of Haaland, Bowen, which I totally agree.
Yeah, Bowen's nice.
Yeah.
I really think if you don't have Salah or Haaland, you can definitely bring in Bowen and he'll give you something.
Yeah.
He's nice.
All right, guys, there you have it. That's who we believe. But let's just also take a look. Let's take a look at the options we've mentioned. Let's look at how the game weeks are looking forward as well. We don't want to just bring in players and they're not good options actually. But this is a fixture ticker based on who's got the best fixtures for the next 4 game weeks, regardless of whether they're a second team or a good team. You can see Fulham's at the top. They're playing a Wolves, which is wounded, not having their best player around. Then, yes, game week 14, they play Liverpool. But then the following game weeks, Nottingham Forest and West Ham at home. I don't rate Wolves. Burnley, I don't see why they're top. Sheffield, I mean, yes, fine. Burnley is playing Wolves, Sheffield, West Ham, but I still feel like for Burnley, the team is just not good enough. Sheffield playing as well with their fixtures. I feel like the best fixtures here, honestly, is Crystal Palace. Based on the players that are back, they got Luton, then they got West Ham, and then they got Bournemouth, which is why we're talking about that Anderson shout for defense. I think for the next 3 game weeks. And that game week 16 is to look out, because that's when I think you should start shipping out Crystal Palace people. And that's when Chelsea's game starts to turn. So you could look at bringing in Chelsea in that game week 16.
I'm actually quite disappointed at how West Ham is rated so poorly. I don't know, for some odd reason.
Where are they? Yeah, at the bottom.
Yeah, like
they're playing Burnley this weekend, and then you see that game against Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace has got good defense, to be honest, and I don't know why the picture's green in game week 14 for West Ham, but West Ham at home have been conceding. I think they'll probably even draw that game, bro, to be honest. And I say that also because they're playing midweek games, and that's where I think them being poor as well. And you know what? I actually thought
it's more a squad depth issue then, hey?
It is, because I thought in terms of our best defense option, or one of our best defense options, I thought, hey, maybe I should bring in a Supal, because I don't have a West Ham defense. I don't have an Areola. And I thought, hey, maybe I should cover myself there. Then I was like, but no, why am I covering myself with a team that doesn't have a good defense? You know what I mean?
But you see now, Cat, like when you say that, okay, I agree that they don't have the greatest defense. But when you look at most of the specialist or the expert managers, they've got
Yeah,
Oriola in goal.
dude.
So I've got Ariola myself purely because I feel like he's a very good shot stopper. Okay, he's not getting me many clean sheets, but
No, I'm not.
it's yeah.
No,
I don't know. I thought I was the only one seeing that, but for me, it
no,
doesn't sit
no.
well with me.
No, but you know why you guys got me? And it's purely because of price. Yet the fixtures also weren't looking bad. Let's be honest. The fixtures were not looking bad. And even these raw fixtures, they got Burnley now. Crystal Palace, at the time, when before Eze was there, we're looking at them like, oh, fresh meat, you know. But
Yeah.
before the fixtures didn't look so bad, and I think people were like, oh, a cheap option for dude, Ariola, put him in, So I totally understand, but that's the reason why I didn't go for it. I saw Ariola, I saw the defense, and I was like, mm-mm. Anderson, not Anderson, yeah, Anderson, bro.
And
Sorry, Johnston. Johnston is the one to, well, cheap, well, not cheaper, but 4.5, much better than 5 million or something like that. Is the one to go for. So yeah, I mean, I think in terms of recapping the best defense, guys, stick to a Crystal Palace option if you haven't got a Gahey, Mitchell, or Anderson, or even a Johnstone to bring in. Um, Captaincy wise, we still stick by Bowen, regardless of whether or not they're down in the fixture ticker for the next four. He does face Tottenham, but I think even by that game week, um, where's Tottenham here? Tottenham should be Spurs. Yeah,
Spurs, yeah.
Tottenham as well. I know they got a bad fixture game week. Oh man, this captaincy guys, honestly, Bowen. Um, if you're gonna bring someone in, I think again, shout out if you really want to be a differential, take a chance. I think Eze will do something.
Ah, Eze. No,
Now
guys, don't go for Eze.
I think he can. I think he can do something. And if you, I think another weird shout out if you want to be different again. I think Captain Captain
Anderson.
Anderson. Yeah, because he's high on the bonus point system for
Yeah,
what's
yeah, yeah.
it,
Bonus points, definitely.
for Crystal Palace. So if they get a clean sheet there, he gets 9, and then your captain that's 18. If Bowen comes back with a return of a goal and even an assist, so that's almost around about the same. If Bowen only just gets a goal, then it might, Anderson might edge it over him. Might have a better team. So I'm not saying Luton's guaranteed clean. Actually, I think Luton's guaranteed clean sheet because that's what I think. If you're not trusting Eze, but yeah, man, if you're gonna bring in people, I think you can bring in a Crystal Palace, uh, and you can bring in a Bowen. Yeah, yeah. Looking at the fixtures, looking forward, actually, that's our punt tips and chips. Definitely no chips, guys. Don't use any chips right now. You're gonna
No,
use
no chips. No
you're gonna use
chips.
a chip. Yeah, we understand you've got injuries and stuff like that, and there's nothing you can do. You have to do surgery, cool. But game week 16 or 19 at the next time you can do it because 16 is a bit of a fixture turn, and 19 is the last time you can really use it. Yeah, yeah, cool, man. Let's get into the most exciting part, which is team reveals. Well, not team reveals, sorry. Recap. Recap. We'll take a look at mine first. Right. Let's actually make sure chat is not there. Anyway, Cat's team, 89 points. That's how much I did this game week. Yeah, man, I was devastated like everybody else. Cass was on the bench. Wasn't hurt by Alvarez having 5. But you know what sucks is when you know someone like Mitoma doesn't get to really play that Sheffield game, and yeah, that for me is what hurt for me. You know, it's not that Alvarez is on the bench, but like you banking on Mitoma at least playing that game, and then also for me, Gordon as well. Bournemouth, bro. Bournemouth, bro. You know, like, hey, Newcastle, bro. Like, hey, hey. And then you know what? Even for me, even Crystal Palace's game, dude. You know, like I, I don't, not rate Everton, but they were home, bro. Conceded,
Yeah.
they lost as well. Conceded, oh,
You know,
they home.
it was one of those game weeks, like when I was watching that Liverpool game and seeing Simicast getting those two assists, I had my hands on my head because I was like, ah man, I know Cat has got this guy in his team, okay? And I was like, ah man, this guy's having a jaw, and I know he captained Salah. And then I go into the freaking app. I'm like, oh yes, I celebrated so hard. Celebrated so hard. So tell me, bro, how did it feel? Because I know you watched that game. I mean,
Yeah,
15
I
points
did,
on the
I
bench.
did,
Oh
I
my
did.
gosh.
You know what? I was, ish, I was pissed in a
You're
weird way.
definitely
I
pissed.
know pissed and angry is the same thing, but I didn't get angry because I was like, there was no way I was gonna play him after the week that he's had in the Champions in the Europa League and him not playing, not starting the previous game week. So and a lot of people had him on the bench as well. So combine all those things. I was like, there was no situation where I was going to play this guy besides having a Kanji. And remember, I said it because you guys were like, so why don't you play a Kanji over Timcat? And I was like, nah, not based on fixture. And Buemo was in form. So we're like, Liverpool could concede just one, and that's all they needed to concede one.
Yeah.
So we were all honestly anticipating them conceding one to Buemo or Buemo assist. And I was adamant that I was like, no, Kanji will get a return. May actually a clean sheet, but he got a return. And
Yeah, but also in your defense, you didn't know that Gomez was injured. Klopp didn't say a word, and then all of a sudden he's like, "Ah, that's the case." I think Klopp, if you ever come across such, bro, you cost a lot of guys.
hey, bro.
You
Hey,
cost a
bro.
lot of guys because
Hey,
really,
bro.
I mean,
But I
if
mean,
you
in the
knew
end
if
of
you
it,
knew that Gomez was injured, it was going to be automatic that hey,
it
look,
was
I need to
going to be
put this guy in the
automatic.
team.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. But I mean, in the end, things still worked out as much as they could have been better. I'm very happy to walk away with 89 points. You know, this game week, considering how everyone else had a high scoring game week. So it's like when people have a high scoring game week, you need to have a bit of a higher. You know,
yeah.
it's like 20 points more than the average, and that's when you've done good. So
Yeah, no, it was definitely a good gaming for you. Obviously I'll keep saying this. There's a certain template of players, midfielders, strikers, that we all more or less have. So it was really like the 1-2 players like your Saliba, he put his hand up. Akanji got a goal.
mm,
Um, you did
mm.
mention your Johnston kind of disappointed you. I was actually also quite surprised at that game. I was like, ha ha, Everton, what?
It was
Ninjani.
early, bro.
I was
I
like,
started watching that game on Goal Rush, and I was like, okay, cool. I just want to, check out these guys, make sure they're going to get a clean sheet against Luton. Ooh, 4 minutes in, goal from Everton. What
yeah.
the?
Like with me, I didn't watch the game. I just saw at the end. I was like, yo, what happened here?
Dude, these guys
Um,
are scoring quick, bro. Then, literally, 3 minutes later, Eze has a penalty at the top there. I'm like, what the hell? It's like 8 minutes into the game, and there's already two goals. Like, surely these guys weren't about defending today. They were like,
nah,
no,
not at all.
we're
But
coming.
I suppose it's also the quality of the league. Hey, like it's anyone's day. If you get on that field and you just off the pace just a bit, and that other team is keen and is hungry, it's late.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, with Matoma as well, like that was a big disappointment. I mean, that fixture, like we were all talking about it. We were all like looking to see, hey, this guy, we need some points. He's been quiet for so long, and then he does what he did.
That's what he did. Yeah, yeah. And
I think also as well, I'm sure you're considering shipping him out at some point in time.
he's the guy I'm looking at taking out and Bartman, you know. So if I got two free transfers, so if I make any transfers, those guys are most likely the ones to go out. But I don't want to use my two transfers, so I want to just use one. I don't have to use the two as well. I just want to use one. And
What are you thinking of doing for Game Week 13? Have you thought of it as yet, or it's still something you just
yeah,
want to
so I
see?
have to make a defensive transfer to strengthen the defense. Have to. Then that Matoma transfer really is not to necessarily get Matoma out, not about getting Matoma out. I actually don't mind Matoma being in. I feel like Matoma is that week in, week out player. Like I'm not worried about him having benched. He'll come in the next game and guy will probably score 2 goals. He's playing Nottingham Forest away, which is a tough fixture, a tough ass fixture.
Yeah,
Nottingham Forest at home they're good. They're really good. And considering how Brighton's been playing, I don't think they'll do well. So I can take him out. His next best fixture, I'm talking about Matoma, is like later, like in game week 16. Yeah, when he plays Burnley. But
Burnley.
that's the time we're all thinking about getting like Chelsea players and stuff. So like, I can take him out for now. Yeah, honestly, the only person I'm looking at getting in the midfield is Eze. So it's gonna be a matter of
Eze. You have
yeah,
it, guys.
yeah.
Eze. Hey, cats.
What? No, seriously, bro. He's got a good fixture. It's not that I'm betting on him necessarily. He's got a good fixture. That's what.
No. I'm not saying you're betting on him, but it's just that tonight, for some odd reason, you are so convinced that this guy is the right guy for your team. And
Yeah,
I'm reiterating it because when he's in your team, I'm going to be patiently watching.
no
Patient.
problem, no problem. But he's got good pictures the next day. So to be honest, and the thing with Eze's substitution is that for Matoma, in all honesty, I was looking to bring in not Mbuemo in the next,
Wemo.
Mbuemo in the next game. So bringing in Eze means I'm gonna have to take him out and then bring him back in for 4 hours.
Yeah. Look, you see now
I'm
you're
just
making
like,
sense.
hey, I'm just like,
Now
hey,
you're making sense.
that's why I'm saying I don't want to make two. I don't have to make two. Do I really want to just bring? I have the extra transfer, so I can use it or I can keep it. And
Yeah.
that's where I'm at. I'm just like,
For me, it makes a lot of sense. As in, like, now you're sober, you're talking about Mbuemo. When you're talking Eze, I don't know if what's
nah, but
happening.
you can't bring in Mbuemo now, and I know people are bringing him
No,
now.
not now. Okay,
Yeah,
obviously, like you did say, you're not planning to use both of your transfers. Okay, you mentioned that you want to ship out Botman and bring some form of stability in your defense. That's one transfer. But if you're gonna transfer Matoma out, for me personally, Mbuemo, and you've been backing this guy since game week 3, 4.
yeah,
We
yeah.
didn't believe, and we believe this guy as well. He bangs in the goals. What I like about him, the team plays through him. He's confident with the ball. He holds it up. You know, I'm a big fan of strikers who can ask for the ball and have a defender behind them, whether he's a big, small guy, whatever. That he's got that confidence. He's quick in front of goal. He bangs in the goal. Should have scored more goals. This past weekend, in my view, he had the opportunity. He was just a bit unlucky. The keeper did his job. So definitely Matoma from Buemo. I'm with you there, but Eze, baba, baba.
Let me tell you something. And just to round off this thing, for me, I'm putting the same punt on as I did in Bueno. When he started, getting into the motion and stuff, and then he got injured, and then like now he's back, and he still has to get into the motion.
Yeah.
Eze has a good run of fixtures where he plays and plays and plays. Later on down the season, you'll be saying the same thing. Hey, dude, you had a punt on Eze. Eze's got he just hasn't had in the beginning he didn't have Olise, and now Olise is back. And Edward wasn't performing. He didn't have an outlet. He was creating chance after chance, and no one was there to put away those assists. So he wasn't returning, and that's why people shipped him out immediately. Now Edward has created a bit of like returns, and Olise is going to come and add on that. Ayu's also helping out, and then the defense is also looking solid. So he's not worried too much being in the midfield, when it's coming to really marking. So Crystal Palace get their form up in attack as well. I'm telling you now, man. I'm telling you now, you guys are going to be running after Eze. Yeah.
No, I definitely agree with you. He's definitely a top player because I think I also had him game week 2 until 4 as well. He was very well. He's a decent player. I mean, Crystal Palace plays a lot through him. But definitely, what you've just made me realize that for the fact that Olise is back, it's definitely going to take off the burden off him in terms of the creative end of things. And Olise playing out wide will definitely be that energy, that outlet, and he'll definitely be taking on the defenders and giving him supply within more the middle of the field. So it's going to be interesting to see. I just feel that until we see something positive, it's really neither here nor there to bring him on. But we'll see. Let's see how the next couple of games goes. But definitely, Crystal Palace have got. We did mention earlier they've got a really nice run of fixtures. So if you're going to back their defense, you might as well look elsewhere on the field, I guess.
Yeah. Now let's take a look at your team now. All right. G-Man, 84 points. My man, 84 points.
Yeah. After a real dismal previous game week, had a red arrow. I've got a green arrow. Smiles. I'm all smiles. Really chuffed that Salah did the things, Hala did the things, Saka did the things. I brought him back into the team.
Yeah.
It's very hard to ignore players that are scoring game week in and out. He's only blanked twice, I think, this season. Diaby, Bowen again, the main man, the man of the hour, with that header out of nowhere. I was very chuffed with Pedro Porro, his assists. Yes, Spurs lost, but he showed why he's on the team. Gabriel, okay, nothing to say much about him, but what's good with Gabriel, he's definitely going to be jamming. Arteta's taking a liking onto him. Cash kind of disappointed all of us, I think he's also one of the defenders that I'm looking to move out, and then Areola, nothing really to write home about. So I'm very disappointed about Lascelles though, because I brought him in. I had the 2 free transfers. I had to get rid of Romero because he was on that red flag.
Yeah.
So he kind of disappointed me there in terms of not necessarily looking at the points for the game week, but you never want to bring in a player, then you realize, this guy, he might end up being deadwood than anything else. Obviously Archer, he's there just for that rotation, and then Ball, he's just there for his price. He's never going to see the lights of day. But in total, I'm not really too bleak about this team. I'm not planning to make any transfers for Gaming 13. I'd much rather just roll it over. But I'm thinking long and hard.
Yeah,
I'm thinking really long and hard here. What I should be doing for Game Week 14. I really feel that I need to start getting rid of the City players. Obviously, Haaland is not going anywhere, but Alvarez, your Edison, preparing for that blank.
You know why I don't want to get rid of Alvarez? Because KDB is still around. And
but Kat, you've still got a wild card,
No, I know, but it's not about that. It's not about like bringing him back in or whatever. But it's more so about the mere fact that, bro, this guy's still getting 5 points or so. Like, yeah, he's not getting 10 points and shit like that, but he will, like, every now. Let's just quickly from the side here, right?
Okay, but look, but Cat, wait. He got 5 points against Chelsea, right? Against Bournemouth, he got 2 points. Against United, he got 2 points.
And then
Okay, fine.
Against Burnley, against Bournemouth, right?
Against Bournemouth.
Then fine, Arsenal 2 points, Wolves 8 points. Oh, not Nottingham Forest 1, West Ham 9, Fulham 14. Okay, now the break. Sheffield United away 2 points. Okay, back at home in Newcastle 7.
Okay, look.
8. He's what I've been telling you guys about. Week in, week out. And he's in the top team in the Premier League. Who you going to bring in to replace this man? And he ain't that expensive. 7. You probably got him for like 6.9 or something. Who you bringing in?
Look, Cat.
Who you bringing in?
I agree with you, okay? But for me, looking at game week 18, he's blanking, right? So if I've got 3 City players in game week 18 that are blanking, right? That means if you look at my bench already, I don't have that depth to put all 3 of them on the bench for game week 18. So for me, I'd much rather. Okay, fine. Game week 18 is still far, but I've got a plan for it now, and I've got to put on players that are going to help me get over that, and then possibly bring them back in. So what I'm thinking, Matomo can chuck. I can get a real cheap midfielder. I can even go for a young Palmer, Cole Palmer.
Yeah, you will.
He's he's like a 5.7. And then I get Alvarez. I say, sorry, guy, I'm shipping you out, and I bring in like a Watkins. All right,
okay.
He's more expensive, but like I've made provisions for him financially, and he can get me more games through that period. Come game week 18, I'm not in trouble. Where now, Brentford players are blanking, City players are blanking. I don't know what to do. I'd much rather say, okay, let's work towards that game week where, for me personally, that's what I need. I need to do that.
No, you're right. You're right. Because again, this is based on your team and all our teams.
100%. And then after that, then I can look to bring him in. But for me right now,
I get you.
If I'm greedy now, I'll be shot in the foot game week 18. And looking at the team at 84 points with the green arrow, I'm in the right direction. I just need to make like informed decisions. Now I'm making informed decisions.
But for me, whatever points we hit this game week, it don't mean we're going to do good next game. It doesn't mean my team is good for next game week. That's how I want to see it. You know what I mean? So yeah,
I agree. I agree, but it shows that there's a balance.
No, it doesn't.
I think it does.
It says nothing. It says game week 12, your team was good. Game week 13, is your team good or not? Literally, bro. It's like the game week 11. It's like game week 11 and game week 10 and game week 11 and game week 12, right? We were like game week 11, our team is good. Was it? Our team was good on paper, but like in the end of the day, it didn't perform. And we come to game week 12. Does that mean our teams were very much the same in game week 11? Does that mean that it was our team was not in the right shape to perform in game week 12? How many changes did you make in game week 11?
Okay, let's put it this way. I agree with you, but I also disagree with you.
I didn't make no changes. I didn't make no changes. I didn't make any
because okay, for me in game week 11, right? I had Madison. Right, and Madison was the guy that I removed. I had Romero. Okay, and I brought in Saka. So for me, one transfer brings that balance in the team. Okay, let's go back to game week 10. I had a 71 in game week 10. Hazelond, where I had Romero in the team, I had Madison in the team. Then we go even further back to game week 9. So I'll keep saying that the balance is very no. Game week 11 was 26 points. My bad. 26 points. And what's that? Cash had 0. Pedro Perro had 0. Madison blanked. Diaby didn't play so well. Okay, Bowen was the one who scored some points. Haaland gave me 2 points. But if I look at my team in game week 11 and I look at my team now in game week 13, I mean, that's 2 game weeks. But if you look at the team, it's very different. Not because there's a lot of players that I just shift out, but I brought in more balance where I can have a bad game week, but the next game week I need to pile on some points to be more consistent. And that's all it is. For me, from the team where if I look at my game week 11 team to my game week 13 team, it's like chalk and cheese. It is just so different.
All right.
You know?
Yeah, I see. Again, it is your team, your story, different for every person.
That's all it is. That's all it is, really. So it goes back to having a plan for your team. You plan for the team, you plan for the fixtures, and just don't be emotional, bruh. Whatever you do, don't be emotional.
Don't be emotional. All right, let's take Chavez's team apart, dog. All right. The man who called in sick. I just wanna bring in his picture here because everyone can see. You know, don't wanna exclude him. You know, and then he says, "Oh, exclude me, dude. What did I do to deserve this?"
Yeah, his picture is referring to his game week.
It is totally referring. Let me just say this again. This man had the balls to take out Haaland. If you were talking about Arteta tactics, he kept saying, that was me. That was him. He did not mention a thing about it, even in the press conferences and the thing. Oh, yeah. He says one thing, meanwhile, he means the other thing. This guy removed Haaland. And did Haaland not punish him, dog? Like, you know, this is my thing that when I say, you know, like, bro, we can all captain the same person. We can all captain someone different, bro. It's those differentials. Haaland had 16. How much is 16 on top of this? 79 and then 85. 85 points.
Yeah, 85 points.
That's where he would have been. Who did he put in for the Haaland? He didn't have Alvarez, did he? He brought in Alvarez.
Yeah, he brought in Alvarez.
So actually he forgoed 11 points. Oh, wait a minute. He also minus. Yes, that's the other point.
Chaps. I'll tell you something. This guy, I'm gonna keep saying it. When he makes emotional moves, he gets punished. Yeah, he gets punished. This guy, he removed. I'm sorry, Kat, but I'm gonna keep repeating what you just said. Remove Haaland. Who does that? Like, why? I said it. I was close to selling him, but that Man United game reminded me that this guy, he doesn't need to do much. Sharp. You know what he also did? He sold Cole Palmer.
Yeah, dude, who's been returning.
This guy, he had sold Cole Palmer he had Cole Palmer on his bench.
He's been returning, bro. I didn't see that. I'm actually trying to bring up his changes here, but yes, to get to you, bro. You know many. And you know what's not painful about his game week? What's more painful about his game week? What's painful is that he took it. And what's funny about what I feel like is funny, and he's not here to answer. That's on him, you know.
Yeah,
he's got a valid reason, guys. He's got a valid reason. He's not here. He's working late, and chaps, you know, we get. But it doesn't matter. This is FPL banter, okay? This is not an emotional decision. This is me. This is what I think. This is what I think happened in my head, this is what Chelsea is doing. Oh, man, it's almost deadline time. What am I gonna do? I said I'm gonna do this in my press conference. Nah, screw that. I need money. Haaland out. East. I don't have any more free transfers. You know what? Screw it. Cole Palmer out. I think, who did he bring in?
Who did you bring in for Palmer?
I'm gonna check now.
Right, let me have a look as well.
Sorry, guys. Just bear with us because we want to make sure we have all the facts.
We can't ask him, so we kind of have to
exactly
find ourselves.
He's not here. Ne? So who did he have? He brought in Bowen.
Oh yes, he didn't have Bowen. Yes.
He brought in Bowen. Hey bro, this is after another red arrow game week for him. Shame.
You know, and what's funny, he made a comment that, hey, Goba, how do you feel that you're getting a red arrow? You're slowly slipping away. And I said, look, chaps, you know, it's this thing, it's about patience. It's about not panicking and, you know, sticking to your guns. And then he goes and he sells Haaland. Guys. And then you put Simicus on the bench.
That's what I was saying. I think what's even more painful about it
guys,
that those 15 points that he forgoed from Haaland are on the bench. They're on the bench. You see, in Chabi's team and Chabi's shoes and decision making, I would have been pissed that Simicus was on the bench because he had Gahey as well, who returned to the previous game, and then he brought him in, and then the guy goes and gets a 1. Trippier and them don't perform, they go get 1. There's Saliba scoring headers instead of Gabriel, which everybody thinks is the one who's going to be scoring 2.
You know, I think like he's got a headache right now because I mean you've got a Trippier and you've got a Cash.
Oh, we know he's not even working. Like he's just like no, fuck this guy.
No. Let's not go there. Like I mean, he's got a Trippier and a Cash. Okay, so I mean, I know chaps to be very strategic.
Dude, he brought
this right now is confusing.
Thinking from him.
Yeah, this is confusing the hell out of me because I mean, this is not the chaps I know. I just really hope that. And he's used his wild card as well, so it's also like.
No, you know what's also confusing for me? The amount of hits he's taking. He was on my ass for taking 8 points. He took 8 points. And that was on one game. You know, the very next week, this guy goes and takes 8 points as well. And then now, he's taken 20 points hit, and he used his wild card. So we have to put it in context.
No, it's actually going to be very interesting now going forward. I see him playing his triple captain in Gameweek 20, and he's going to bring Haaland back.
Oh yeah. Oh no.
I see that.
He's going to take a hit to bring Haaland.
He's going to take 2 hits. No, but he's got money he's definitely got money in the bank, Cat. Like with that,
now,
bringing in Bowen and Alvarez,
it's not about that.
14, he's got money in the bank.
It's more about the fact that he's only got 1 transfer. So yes, bringing in Haaland was one thing, but he probably still wants to plug something else. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think you're bringing Haaland this week.
Like for me, I think it was a good move bringing in Bowen. You know, let's give you props for that. Well done. You know, well done.
It was an obvious move. It was not well done.
No, but like that's the one good thing he did in this game week. You brought in Bowen. That's great. He's gonna have a great game week for game week 13, and I hope he returns for you. But Alvarez, Haaland.
That's the point I was mentioning earlier, dude. Nobody can bring in for him, bro. Alvarez doesn't haul. You know, Haaland haul. He brings in 15 points, 20 points.
Haaland is on penalties. You know, Kat, you've been saying this penalties thing. and I've had such a hard head about it. But looking at what Cole Palmer's doing at Chelsea, I fully understand, bro. Like, yeah, dude, I fully understand that. Look, you know, if FPL managers, that's definitely something you have to look at. You can look at. If you're gonna ignore it, you are going to get punished, like chaps. Oh gosh.
So, chaps, I'm very sure you've learned to listen. Don't be emotional. Don't watch.
No, don't be emotional.
Panicking that I was coming behind him, and that's the only thing I can think. Like, this guy was probably like, "Hey, this guy, hey, he's not telling us who he's captain."
No, but there was no need. Like, I mean, he's
panic,
sitting. There was no need. He's sitting so well that for me, the team was balanced. You know,
It was good.
it was balanced.
It
Now,
was good.
you see now.
That's it. He could have just brought him Bowen. That is it. Oh, we probably didn't have money to bring in Bowen. Because, yeah,
No,
he had
he did.
Cole
No,
Palmer.
he definitely didn't have money to bring in Bowen. But
Yeah,
I feel that -4,
get it.
it's not worth Haaland in the mix. You can't have a
It's not
Haaland in a
worth
-4.
losing Haaland in the mix.
Yeah, bro. Like, no, guys, managers,
So
stay away from Haaland and Salah, bro.
Here's what's even more sad, I guess, because Palmer returned again. He lost 16 from Haaland and 6 from, so that's 22 points from -4, and Bowen and the thing which is 8 is 13. So 13 -4, 9.
Yeah, 9 points.
9 points for 22 points. Yo, bro. That's a rough week, man. That's a rough week. Sorry, Chef. Sorry, Chef. Ooh, sorry, Chef. We just lost Goba. I think your team was killing him. Yeah, I think it's probably load shedding. Look, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna round things off. Okay. This is the league table. This is the league table. I guess the guys are not here. I'll be in the glory all by myself in this section. You know, I wanted to float. I think let me just check. Let me just check my Google. Hold up a second. Oh snap! Yeah, I got it. Okay, cool. It's not Gola actually. What I was saying is, sorry guys, it's not Gola actually. It's me. Having load shedding here, and my thing just turned off. Don't ask me why, but it's on. It's on now. So reconnecting. Let me just check. Yeah, it's reconnecting. So Goba should be with us. But anyway, the big thing here is Mikey's at the top. Mikey, I will be contacting you for our next show. We want to invite you onto the show for the next show just before the game week starts. So yeah, man, please look out. I know you dropped your email in the comments. Drop it again in the comments here. Really would appreciate it if you can make the time. We'll talk we'll talk about it. We'll talk about what day. But yeah, well done. You at the top, my man, and you've been holding it strong. You're doing well. Coming after you though, coming after you. And then Kingsley holding it down too. But I'm gonna say it like I did to Chaps, my man. I'm coming after you. You know, I'm coming after you too, and I'm close now. I'm close now. I think you also didn't have luck with this game week, but yeah, keep your head up, dog. Keep your head up, and then kill squad, killing the boys, killing the boys. Let me tell you that bandwagon has come down behind me. FPL Bands is coming up. Crossbar FC thought that he would catch up to me. You know, my boy Tabo, you know, he was like, yo, you know, I see you doing the moves. I know, you know, we were talking, debating a little bit about who we think we should use, giving each other a bit of tips. his brother right behind him as well, showing him who's the older brother. He also didn't have a good game week. And then Goba back in the top 10, my man. I'll give you your prompts. I know you're not here, but well done, dog. You came from deep. You came from real deep. So well done. You're back. Honestly, it shows how much a game week can change. And then we got T. T's been in the game. He's honestly maintained his position despite Glover coming up on top of him. And Zalmu Ndlovu is in. Sorry, man, I'm gonna butcher your thing, dog. But Movie Gang, dog, Movie Gang's in the house. He came in as well to the top 10. So, yeah, man, guys, congrats to everybody who's made it into the top 10. You know what it is. You got to fight. You got to keep doing the things, guys. But yeah, man, that is the show. Sorry, I lost Goba. I had to wrap this up myself. It is late anyway. Don't expect him to hop on again. But yeah, man, guys, I just want to say, take a good break, international break. We will drop content as much as we can. Well, we have been dropping content every week, so we'll still be here pretty much in your break. I don't like to switch off. I like to tinker a bit, so I know others do. But yeah, man, guys, enjoy it, honestly. Yeah, man, and have a great week. I'm out. Peace.